The Red Dirt D&D podcast is brought to you by Pro Laser Cuts. The Oklahoma company provides pre-made and customizable design laser cut dice towers, tokens, and more, developed by a gamer for gamers, and now available to enhance your tabletop game. Pro Laser Cuts products can be found at many Oklahoma City area game stores, local events, and now available online at prolasercuts.com. That's laser and cuts with a Z, Pro Laser Cuts. And by SD Way Gaming, where dice goblins unite. Our friends at SD Way Gaming celebrate the beautiful dice players handpick for their games and splendor. SD Way Gaming has expanded to include many tabletop gaming varieties, accessories, and similar fun necessities to include a service for your dice addiction. You can shop for a variety of products at sdwaygaming.com or find SD Way Gaming on Facebook. Welcome to Red Dirt D&D. I'm Michael Cross, and I play Gaz, an orc barbarian, sworn protector of the Caliban frontier.
I'm Konnor Shenold. I play Konnor with a K, Kobold Sorcerer who is a continuous thorn in the Empire's side.
I'm Johnny Payne, and I play Zonimus Dinar, a paladin of dusk, using vengeance as a tool to protect the ones I love.
I'm Kiri Hester. I play Poppy Tea Leaf, the halfling desert druid determined to save the wild places from the ambitions of civilization.
I'm Brooke Bullock, and I play Mokrin Stoneshaper, a young dwarf sorcerer finding his true family as revealed by the secrets of the frontier.
And I'm Ash King, your dungeon master. Join us now for Tales from the Caliban frontier. The celebration at the Temple of Nightmare lasts for a good half a day. We are talking about friends, family, lovers who haven't seen one another in 6,000 years. As the party goes around you, you actually do notice Nightmare himself slips quietly through a large pair of doors at the very rear of the cavern. The dragon momentarily locks eyes with you, Zonimus, sensing a disquiet about your soul as he gives a light nod, indicating you are welcome to follow.
I will humbly nod, slow and low, and follow.
You find yourself in the heart of Nightmare's hoard, a great black dragon flopping down on some of the treasure, taking a moment to leisurely roll in it, as a cat rolls in the dust before he turns back over and, resting his head close to the ground, looks at you. Over the past few hours, he seems to have regained some strength, but his form still looks greatly dehydrated, and not the best, but not the worst either. So, young Zonimus, tell me, you seem to have much on your mind.
I've been to your temple before, great one. Many things have changed since then. Lost a brother, deceived by a god, as I see it anyway. Whole life changed before me. I kind of shrug the robe when I say that. A lot of unexpected things happen. Poppy crosses my mind. And I saw something when we were in there with you, in that dreadful place. I think I saw the Mind Eater's true form. It touched me, and I froze.
To have seen the Mind Eater's true self and to have survived is a intense feat. Few have come away from such an encounter unscarred. Even my own mind was touched at one point. We will always bear those scars.
Yeah, I know I didn't come away from it unscarred. I know there's a darkness in it, and I've been fighting against darkness for a long time, but I believe I'm positioned in my life in a place where I can keep it at bay or use it.
The darkness need not be something that you should fear. We see that you carry her mantle.
I'll puff up with pride. I do, and it fits better than any other mantle before it.
The ancient ones always said, it is only in the darkness that you can appreciate the beauty of the stars. Something to ponder.
A nod in agreement.
But we sense this is not the only thing on your mind. There is something that keeps you from resting. Something that compels you to continue to act. Tell us what it is.
It is the past, my past, the world's past, the Empire. Are you familiar with the Empire?
This is unknown to us.
There was once an evil empire in this land, ruled by Cimarron, and Cimarron met his end not with the great Lady Dusk, but by being imprisoned by Thundercrack. It seems someone long down the line of his blood has returned and is trying to rise in power to free Cimarron, to bring back the Empire and his reign and take over the frontier once more. Fate has twisted me into it.
As fate so often does.
Yes.
You notice for a moment, it seems as if Nightmare has this very far off look in his eyes, tilts his head slightly before he shakes it and looks back to you. The others have cut us off, it seems. We are having difficulty establishing connection.
With the other dragons. The dragons elected mortals, gifted them with power to become the keepers of this prison, of the keys, of the way in. Each one of them, one by one, has been defeated and those keys removed. The clock has stopped. The moment is here.
We owe you a great debt.
Humbly nod.
This sounds as if it is a problem that Thundercrack is more familiar with. As we are having issues maintaining or reestablishing our connections, it is likely that you needs must go to her directly.
We're trying. We don't know exactly where Thundercrack would be, if Thundercrack is even in this realm.
We cannot feel her, but should she still be here? We recall that she laired in the Whistlewind Caverns, far to the west, not quite to the mountains.
You've been gone a long time, Great One. Do you feel that passage of time? Is it as great to you as it is to someone as myself? Would the Whistlewind Caverns still be a lair for someone such as yourself, for someone like Thundercrack?
We do not give up our lairs easily.
I understand.
We do not believe that she would not still be there. Even if she is not, it is likely you would be able to find her followers there. And if this truly is an issue that she oversaw, then we have little doubt that you could rally them to your cause. From what you have said, and again, as we say, we are in your debt. We owe you a favor that you may call upon. Should it turn out that you are in need, call for us, and we will come.
Just into the nothing, call for you.
Our hearing is far better than you could imagine. And we are also prepared to part with a few tokens of our admiration as he gazes over his hoard.
Most generous, great, and powerful one. I accept, on behalf of myself and my friends, these tokens. Favor aside and tokens aside, I have the need to confess. Will you hear it?
Yes.
I am afraid. I have fear. We all have fear, but I haven't much until recently, because now I have more to lose.
Speak your fear, child.
I left my home because I saw love manipulated. I froze my heart because I saw love used. And yet again, relentlessly, love has been thrust upon me. And I don't fear I'm going to lose that love. I fear I'm going to lose the object of it and all of this, through death, mine or hers.
The most ancient of fears. The fear that grows from love. We can sympathize greatly. We are cut off from the others, but so too are we cut off from her. she whose song was closest unto our hearts. This fear is ominous. I know more intimately than you could ever dream. And the only thing that I can offer is that this fear can only be tempered by hope and trust and faith, that no matter what, the bonds that we forge will last into eternity.
I'm reminded of my brother who passed, was taken by dusk to spend eternity with his love. Thank you for your wisdom, Great One. I will call on the others so they may accept your gifts. I will reach inside and brush past the star and grab the walkie-talkie and hold it against my chest and activate it and just say, Poppy, bring them.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
And I will dry my eyes and throw my arms over my head, take some deep breaths, snap out of this, and again bow deeply to the great nightmare.
He gives an inclination of his head.
Konnor and Makran are pretty easy to wrangle. Hey, you can bring your map with us. Let's go. I need your help to get Gaz away from the mead long enough to go talk to this very important dragon.
I'm coming, Poppy, and Konnor, you were so brave, so proud of you. Margaret, you're awesome. Let's go meet a dragon.
So I will drag them all, and Gaz, honey, I know you're having a good time. We're gonna go talk to a very important dragon, so
Careful as you're stepping, we're all smaller than you.
As soon as you say that, actually, Gaz just seems to click. And it seems like he sobers up because he's just used to it. Not used to talking to dragons, but used to all of a sudden I have to
be important.
I have to, like if I've been drinking all night and all of a sudden something jumps out at us, I have to be sober to take care of it. Yes, Poppy, we shall go in and speak.
Does Nightmare stay in here? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, he's lounging amongst his golden treasures.
I will put on my champion hat when they enter and formally introduce my friends, Poppy Block, Makran Stone Shaper,
Your Grace,
Gaz the Great, Konnor Whittaker. May I present to you the great and mighty Nightmare, who wishes to thank us and pass along hopefully some wisdom and definitely some gifts.
And I bow.
I'll join Gaz in that bow.
Bow to Nightmare.
I'm a lady. I'll give a curtsy, even though I'm not wearing a skirt.
Gives a inclination of his head to you all. We are eternally grateful for what you all have done for us. We owe you a great debt. And so we have gifts to bestow. Trinkets of power from our horde. You see him rooting around with his nose and claws a little bit, knowing exactly what he's looking for a few moments, and then he brings up, for Gaz, brave and mighty warrior, an orc, bravest of all races, wanderers of the plains, he sets the sword at your feet, warm to the touch.
I thank you, great Nightmare. We orcs, for thousands of years, along with the gnolls, have awaited the return of the dragons. You are a sign that the dragons will return to the Caliban, and it will be free again.
As it was, so it shall be.
And this is a...
Oh, it's a flame tongue, baby.
Yes.
Once again, Nightmare returns and digs through the gems and coins and items of his hoard before he comes back, picking up a staff. He settles down in front of you, Poppy. The scent of she who weeps lies heavy on your shoulders, young Poppy.
That's a very nice thing to say, thank you.
This came into our collection some time ago. I know you will find it most useful. You have been granted a staff of the woodlands.
Thank you so much. Great and powerful Nightmare. And then, Thomas, you can keep Gideon's sword.
Makran.
Great Nightmare.
To him, it's a very small item, very difficult for him. You almost think, how in the heck can a dragon find so small of a speck in all of this? But he does, very gently hands it to you.
I hold out both hands.
A small thing, but mighty in its own way. A pearl of power.
Makran can feel the energy of it as it's put in his palm, and he bows low and says, Oh, great nightmare. Some say that all magic is from the lineage of the dragons, and mine seems to be especially connected to stone and the earth, but it's always had an acid component to it, and I can't help but thank you for not only this gift, and then he puts one hand on his chest, but also this one.
Some say that our bones come from this earth, or that our bones were made for this earth. The gods charged us long ago with watching over their creation, as it was difficult for them to do themselves. Yes, there's something to be said about your soul, young Makron. Difficult for this one to place, but something familiar.
I've been searching it myself, oh great one.
If I was a fool, I would say I could almost sense her influence upon you, my Dreamweaver. Konnor.
Mighty Nightmare.
Kobold.
Yes.
Kobold of Thundercrack.
Brass is easy to think of.
As you wish. For you. And he hands you a gold chain with a pendant sitting at the end of it in the shape of a heart. Parapat of wound closure.
I reach out and grab it and bow once more. Thank you, Mighty Nightmare. I take the pendant from Nightmare and I feel something like shoot up my back along my shoulder blades. And you see little tiny stubs start to come from my back as an itty bitty little tiny pair of wings sprout.
From this thing of wound closure?
From Nightmare.
Just from him in general.
Oh.
You got 2 gifts.
Yeah, he's the hero.
Yeah. I wish to be able to honor Dusk, who I felt was waiting patiently for me. If there was a way I could strengthen the divine powers that she has bestowed upon me.
Nightmare's gaze settles on you once more, Zamanis, as he knits his eyebrows together for a moment before diving back into his treasures. And he returns with an amulet. Upon it, the decorated moon symbol of Lady Dusk. And as he presents it to you, he says, "We are connected in more ways than one. Specifically, we have always had her favor. And so to you I entrust this. +2, Amulet of the Devout."
I will extend my hand and hold it while he is still holding it. And not humbly bow this time, but look him in the eyes and say an honor beyond words. And clasp my fist around it. I'm not going to take it from him. I'm going to wait for him to release it.
And he very carefully lets go and returns to his resting position.
I will take this and flip it over, look at both sides of it. I'm still kind of in awe at Konnor. And I'll walk over to Poppy and I will go down on one knee and I will open it and hand you the clasps and lower my head.
Oh, of course. And she'll put it over your head like a little medal.
Once it's clasped, I will raise my head, look you in the eye, and say thank you, and rise back up.
You're very welcome.
Greetings and salutations, my friends. I'm Michael Cross. So great to have a moment to talk with you during this mid-show break. First off, I want to invite you all to join us as Patreon members. The money we raise helps us pay for things like the music and sound effects you hear on the show, as well as money to go to events and make new fans. When you become a Patreon member, you get our episodes 4 days early, bonus content, access to our Discord server, and full versions of our roundtable discussions. You'll be joining other fans like Scott Wise, Don Mills, Heath Mormon, and the Lady Kate. So join us right now at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. Another way to support us is by getting your very own Red Dirt merchandise. You can find things like hats, hoodies, mugs, and t-shirts. Just click on the merch tab at reddirtdnd.com or reddirtrpg.com. Since 2020, the Red Dirt D&D podcast has been close to another Oklahoma actual play Dungeons & Dragons podcast, D20 to Curtain. And me personally, I've had a chance to work on stage with some of the actors on the show. So when you get done with this episode, you should check them out.
Hello, fellow D&Ders. My name is Jerome.
I'm Jennifer.
I'm Jody.
And together with our friends Kara, Timothy, and Jared, we are the cast of the D20 to Curtain podcast, where Oklahoma theater geeks and their friends hit record and explore our new addiction to Dungeons and Dragons.
We think D&D is more than just a game. It helps us tap into the enduring power of storytelling.
We combine live gameplay with behind-the-curtain episodes to share our experiences, insights, habits, discoveries, and passion for D&D with anyone who will listen.
We hope D20 to Curtain will make you laugh, cry, maybe even make your experience at your table even more satisfying. Check us out anywhere you listen to podcasts or visit us at d20tocurtain.com or at D20 to Curtain on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
We look forward to having you. All we ask is that you have fun, be kind, and play the role.
If you're looking for more content, make sure to check out our YouTube page with Mysteries of Beatrix live every Wednesday. Keys from the Golden Vault from the Red Dirt Outlaws dropping every Tuesday at noon, and Plausible Deniability every other Thursday at 7 p.m. So come check it out at youtube.com/@RedDirtRPG or search for Red Dirt RPG on YouTube. And we would love to hear from you. Find us on social media at Red Dirt RPG. You can also get in touch with us through our website at reddirtrpg.com. In the meantime, make sure and subscribe to this podcast and leave a comment on your favorite podcatcher so others can find us. All right, I think that's everything I need to tell you. Right now, let's head back to Red Dirt D&D.
Nightmare has presented you all each with a gift to help you along your journey. As the raucous party in the Temple of Nightmare comes to a close, the priestess ushers you all towards the upper levels of the temple, taking you into that center room where long ago you fought a statue. And yes, there is the crumpled statue on the ground. You notice now on the floor, not quite the map of the frontier that you found in the Temple of Thundercrack, but permanently etched the coordinates for a teleportation circle.
Nice.
Walker puts both hands out to the people on the side of him. He's like, wait, look. Oh, and I grab my backpack and I open up the journal. I start jotting some notes down. I'm like, look, Konnor, we could go. It's another one.
Oh, yeah. We're going back to the pillars, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this where you wish to return to the pillars?
I think it's the closest that we can get to the last stop.
I don't know this last stop, but I will get you to Sneaky Coyote Shrine.
The Pillars was a day north of the last stop.
More or less, yeah.
And
Not, if I say almost, but not quite.
Yeah.
okay, so it be? It's really 6 to 1, half a dozen. the other.
Yeah, it's actually about equidistant if you just want to leave from here to go to the last stop, or if you want to go to the pillars and then go to the last
Or do
stop.
we want to go to the Pillars and straight to Smithson's? Even though we've got the cart and the horses and stuff, we can just take those to Smithson.
I don't
He's got a stable.
He does.
Yeah, he does.
I say we go straight to the stable.
Yeah, I
go
agree.
straight to Smithson's.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, is this teleportation circle the same one like we walked through before?
Yeah, it should work just like the one before. We can just come right there in the pillars. Madam Priestess, is that something that you would like to have the honor of reactivating?
I can do this for you.
Malcolm bows low and steps back.
All right. She begins the process of casting, and after a few moments, the portal opens. She motions for you all. Go, without fear.
Malcolm bows low and then says, I'll see you guys. And
I'll go after you.
I turn to the priestess and I say, the orcs have long awaited this time. We welcome your return.
She gives a nod.
I walk in.
I'm going to hold your hand, Poppy, and stand there for a moment while everyone else. You remember this room, Poppy?
Yes.
Seems like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
In some ways. In other ways, it feels like it was yesterday.
Hey, speaking of those days, I'll reach down to the scimitar and start to slide it out from my waist, hand the handle towards you.
I think that Gideon would be very proud of you. You have not only been a leader for the group, but have become one of the most honest and trustworthy people that I know. And I know that Gideon, more than anything, just wanted each of us to realize our full potential. And I think he saw that in you, saw the innate leader that I can see, and wanted that to come out, and you've become a leader for us, and you've become a person who has, instead of waiting for fate to come to him, you have gone and chased your fate. And so I think that Gideon would want you to keep that sword for keepsies, not for borrowing.
A smile and a nod is my only reaction to the words that you just said, and I'll slide the scimitar back into my belt. What do you think he would say about this?
He would be glad that we brought Nightmare back, but he would be sad.
What do you think he would say about us? And I'll run a thumb down your cheek.
I don't know, because I never really talked to him. We hadn't gotten to those kind of feelings yet. I was really just working on learning animals, but I think he wants us to realize our full potential, and I think that you bring out the best parts of me. You help me realize my full potential. You encourage me to do what I can and to not be afraid to try and to do big things like call a lightning storm mine and fight a mind eater and things that I never would have imagined I would have been able to do in my little patch of garden back in Venturis. So I think for now he might find it a little awkward, but I think he'll be okay. I think more than anything he wanted us to be happy, and you make me deliriously happy.
I think you're absolutely right, Poppy. I also think he would, as I say this, I look away from you and stand up and look towards the gate, glowing and glittering. I think he'd also probably pull me off to the side around the corner and give me a very stern warning.
That's highly likely, but I think Wildfire would give you that warning too if he could speak.
All right, to the pillars.
I really hate these doorways. I hope we don't have to do them very often.
I'll squeeze your hand. We only have to do it till it's done. We'll do it together. I'm gonna reach inside my shirt as we start to walk through it. And when we step out the other side, I'm gonna pull off the badge and let go of your hand from mine and put Gideon's star in your hand for the sword. For Gideon.
Of course, everybody knows the tale that you can't be given a sword as a gift. You must pay in kind some way, or else you'll get cut by it. That's the thing.
That's the thing. I heard it once. That's what we'll tell everybody. We all make it. Sonimus is remembering every time he's been here, especially the last time, and he looks to Poppy and says, "Hey, you know, I guess I should start Wildfire. Making better friends. Do you have any Tritos on you I could feed Wildfire?"
Sure. Wildfire's always appreciative of
How about a few here?
Okay.
Thanks. And I will take this little handful of Tritos and go over to Wildfire and lay a finger over one of them and keep it hidden in my hand as I pull the others out into my other hand and feed them to Wildfire. Go, here you go, buddy. Yeah, scritches, Tritos, and he eats them?
Of course.
I'm assuming. One Trito remaining in my hand. All right, let's move out. And as we start to walk away, I think of what we just went through and what came of it and who put us there. And I drop the Trito on the ground.
Very happy jackalope noises in the background.
How long will it take to get to Smithson's?
So from the pillars to Jasper's camp is around about 60 miles. A day, at a normal pace, it's 24 miles. Fast pace is 30 miles a day. So you could get to Jasper's in 2 days if you walked.
I am a druid. We could just keep Thistle with us, and then I could just tell Buttercup to take the cart to the last stop. Or we could just load up the stuff on the horses and ourselves, and then just abandon the cart. Someone else will come by and be like, "Oh, cool, free cart," and get a free cart.
So I know, thematically, we've been, saying we have stuff in the cart, but what's in the cart?
Lots of stuff. There are
We have our box, the box of stuff that we stole from the bandits. The boat is in there. Gideon's stuff is in there.
Also, you have an orc that can carry almost all of
the
this
important stuff we can strap onto the horses. We have 3 horses.
Yes. Yeah.
So the important stuff we can strap onto the horses and then just wind walk.
Yeah.
And then just leave the cart.
Can you animal message back to Yazgash to come to the pillars and get this cart?
Oh, I totally could do that.
Yeah. And then we just trust leaving it here for the time it takes to get from last to here. Yeah.
All right.
So I will go outside and then look for a bird or a
jackalope bunching on a Trito over there.
Jackalope. You do see a jackalope. It's just sitting over there, scratching at its ear, and then it sees you all. It's like, "Greetings, wanderers."
Please don't run away. I have a favor to ask, and I can. Hey, guys, you got some whiskey in that bag anywhere? Just a little bit.
I have some mead.
Do you like mead, Jackalope, or are you a whiskey kind of a Jackalope? Yeah, that's what I thought. Unfortunately, I don't have any whiskey. I know. But if you take this...
What good is living without whiskey?
I know, but if you take this message to Jubilee, Jubilee will pay you in whiskey.
Have I met this Jackalope before?
Totally seems like a anonymous quote.
So I will tell
Have I met this Jackalope before?
I will tell them, Jackalope, to tell Jubilee, we are safe, had to leave cart at pillars, please collect and return to... Yes, Gash.
The little mind is like ear twitch for a second. It says processing data. Message confirmed, will be delivered.
So there we go. So we can leave the cot and anything that we can leave. We're going to leave behind. Jubilee will come collect those, so we're not littering. And yeah, you just let me know when, and I will give everybody the safety briefing before we go on this quest.
As you've left the cart, I have written a note and put it in a little envelope. And it simply says, Mothers, long have I waited to see you again. I have joined with Poppy, Mokrin, Zonimus, and Konnor. We are safe and working to protect the Caliban frontier. I love you and hope to see you again soon. Your son in all devotion, Gaz.
Okay, so listen up, everybody, and also every animal. I'm gonna cast a spell. It's gonna turn you into air, and that sounds really scary, but what that means is that we can go real fast. So I think in order to make sure that nobody gets lost, we should hold hands and or hooves and or paws. And we're gonna go to Smithson's, which is that way, and I point in the direction that is appropriate. And we have 8 hours to do it. You can't touch anything when you're air because you're air. So don't try to attack anything.
Then how's the hand holding go work?
Because we're all air. You can't touch things that are not air. You can only touch air things.
Oh, sure.
Wait, do I look like me, only like a cloud?
Kinda. I imagine that you're kind of I haven't done it before, but I imagine that you're gonna just turn kind of like transparent and like ghosty, but like nice ghosty.
Wait, you haven't done this before? We're gonna do it for the first time?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Are you sure about this?
She who weeps hasn't led me wrong before. And then I will use my 6th level spell slot, because that's what it is, and we will wind walk. And as far as we can get in 8 hours is how far we can
How fast do we go?
Well, we will go 300 feet around.
What? So we're looking at about...
So 300 times 10.
10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes us a minute to turn into wind, and then when we get there, we are wind for 1 minute while we... Now, if everybody think of your solid bodies, it's going to take us a minute to turn back.
So, Poppy, you take a minute. Take a deep breath. Feel the strength of she who weeps flowing through you as you cast this spell. All of you. It's the strangest sensation. You begin to fade, your bodies transforming into wisps of wind. You allow the sensation to overtake you, feeling everything and nothing as your consciousness somewhat fades to the background and you watch the frontier blaze by below you. You catch only snippets of places that you know and have seen before you come to a stop outside of a very familiar rock face.
Red Dirt D&D, Tales from the Caliban Frontier, is Ash King as our Dungeon Master, Brooke Bullock as Mokrin Stone Shaper, Johnny Payne as Zonimus Dinar, Kiri Hester as Poppy Tealeaf, Connor Shenold as Konnor the Kobold, and I'm Michael Cross as Gaz. Special thanks to our Silver Star Paladin patron, Shenanigans Unplugged. Our theme music was created by the Cinemagician PJ Castillo. Our incidental music comes from Jeffrey McBride. Our sound effects and additional music, courtesy of TabletopAudio.com, Sirenscape, and Monument Studios. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and at RedDirtDND.com. We here at Red Dirt D&D could really use your help in getting the word about us. If you like what you've heard, make sure and subscribe, rate us, and leave a comment. Also, Tell your friends about Red Dirt D&D. You can also support the show at patreon.com/reddirtdnd. We have several giving levels to help us grow up big and strong. Join us next time as we go deeper into the Caliban frontier.
His metabolism's so high as an orc and as a barbarian. How much has he drank?
What he did was he got a rabbit drunk and then he ate the rabbit while he was drinking.
Something jumps out at us. I have to be sober to take care of it.
Oh, crap. Here comes Moms.
I'm perfectly fine, Mother.
Cool.
I don't know what you mean.
As I have spoken with Zonimus.
We're
here to help.
Thank you.
It's a drinking game now. If there was a way I could strengthen the divine powers that she has bestowed upon me, perhaps with a +2 amulet of the devout, if you happen to have one laying around. I think I saw one over there when you were digging around for the staff.
Zonimus is meta enough to say the name of it and what it does.
Then look at it. I will flip it over and notice there's an inscription that says, "Renews at dusk, not dawn."
And yes, there is the crumpled statue on the ground.
She hands you super glue.
I still have one of the eyes. And somewhere there's a filthy, rich hobbit with 7 kids.
I say we go straight to the stable.
Yeah, I
go
agree.
straight to Smithson's.
I agree.
Yeah.
Also because we've been so pressed for time.
Yeah,
right.
It's going to be weird that we take off and go back. Because when we get to the last stop, we're going to be there forever.
Yeah, the last stop is a time suck.
Yeah.
It's everyone's favorent time suck.
I mean, your mom's going to be so happy that we've all found each other. And it'll be like orc egg omelets for 3 days.
At one point, I was thinking while that conversation, Gaz just sticks his head back into the portal. You guys coming or what?
We'll stop making this the pop of the show.
And did we get a long rest at some point?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nightmare party.
During
long
my
rest.
speech with Poppy, everybody had like 3 long rests. Sorry, everyone.
We were having a moment.
I was role playing. Like John Lovitz. I'm the John Lovitz of RPG.
I'm an actor.
I was acting.
Pull my finger. Yeah, all of
What a bad
Gaz's...
time for none of us to have gotten a bag of holding is.
You could have asked for that.
Bro, we have a kobold with a backpack. We don't need a bag of
But
holding.
again,
I thought that was a magical thing in
most
itself.
of the
He's not a kinder.
Your son, in all devotion, Gaz. I just wanted to put that.
Oh, that's the sweetest.
That's awesome. And then at the bottom, he drew a little
Loves
stick
his
figure
mom.
family of us all
Yes.
holding hands.
Yes.
And then like a picture of a dragon.
It's a little flip book.
There's like no context to it, and they're like having a panic attack when they open it and read it and see all these pictures. Like, the dragon!
He's not gotten any better.
Boy, that's why we're having a safety briefing.
So you're going to break us down into a million little pieces and move us across a great distance and then reassemble us back together again.
Yes, and I believe she who weeps can let me do that.
Sounds completely unsafe.
I thought you didn't like those teleportation circles.
I don't.
Wait a minute. Is this how you feel whenever I have to do teleportation circles?
Yes, that is sciencey magic, and that hurts my brain. This is nature magic. We're gonna turn it into wind. Have you ever heard the wolf cry to a blue corn moon? Gonna paint with all the colors of the wind
Paint with all the
here.
colors of the wind. We're going 2 days travel in 10 to 15 minutes.
Man, I feel like this is going to be faster than an airship.
Yeeted across the map.
You're picturing the desert of the Caliban frontier. You hear Gaz's voice go.
Followed by.